Now we are discussing about a regulated power supply. As the name is suggesting, a regulated power supply, we are getting the DC power supply from this source. This is RPS. This is dual channel RPS and this is single channel RPS. To our homes, we are getting AC supply, that is 230 volts RMS voltage. But for our electronics connections, we require DC supply. So there is a requirement, we always convert this AC to DC, whether that is our mobile charger, whether that is our laptop charger, whether that is TV. In many electronic circuits, we convert the AC to DC. But when we are doing our experiment in the laboratory, we may not have chargers. We may not have any equipment to convert from AC to DC. We require DC voltage. At that time, we are using a DC voltage source. This is voltage source. This is not giving any current because we have only voltage sources at the laboratories. This DC voltage source is having capability to give the voltage from 0 to 30 volts. We can vary the voltage depending upon our requirement from 0 to 30, and this voltage can be given to our circuit. The maximum current that can be drawn by using this voltage source is 1 ampere. We have also 2 ampere RPS in our laboratories. This is dual channel RPS and this is single channel RPS. Now we are explaining the working principle and how to operate this RPS. First we are explaining the single channel RPS. With this you can understand the dual channel RPS working also. Now in this RPS, if you observe carefully, I have coarse and fine. These two buttons, these two are nothing but potentiometer. In the background, for the varying of this voltage, we have resistors. Actually, we are varying the resistance in order to change the voltage. This is voltage coarse and this is voltage fine. Whenever I am varying this voltage coarse, this is varying the voltage in very big steps. Whenever I am varying the voltage fine, this is varying the voltage in the small steps. Why there is a difference in these two knobs? Because in the background we have two different potentiometers. The resistance of these two potentiometers is different. That's why these two knobs are behaving differently. So when we before turning on the RPS, we have to make sure that these two knobs must be in the minimum position. How to check whether they are in the minimum position or not? We have to check whether they are in the anti-clockwise direction until there is no movement. Then these two terminals are at the minimum position. And this is the current limiting knob. What is this current limiting knob? Whenever we are trying to take the supply from the RPS, at that time, depending upon the load we are connecting, the current may vary. If we connect LED, that may draw one current. If we connect the motor, that may draw one current. Depending upon our requirement of the load we are connecting, the current is varying. We are interested in setting the limit to the current. That limiting can be done by using this knob. This is called as a current limiting knob. I can set the limit from 0 to 1 ampere. In generally, we keep this knob in the maximum position, clockwise position, and then we will operate this RPS. So before turning on the RPS, we have to check these voltage knobs must be in the minimum position. This is the operation of the RPS. Now we will know how to operate a dual channel RPS. For that I am disconnecting this RPS. We are using a dual channel RPS. In this dual channel RPS, we have two channels. I can switch from one channel to another channel by using this SPST switch. I am checking whether the voltage knobs are in the minimum position or not. Yes, the voltage knobs are in minimum position. I am turning on the RPS and I am using the SPST switch for the power. I have turned on this RPS. Now, this SPST switch we are using to change the channel. This is the channel 1. And I am varying the voltage. You can observe the voltage change. 5 volts I am fixing. Okay. If you change this switch to the other channel and you are trying to vary, but still the voltage is not varying, that is indicating that voltage is already varying, but you are not able to see the display because the display is connected to the channel 2. Majority of the mistakes in the electronics lab while giving the supply is done with this concept only. Without knowing, we will think that even though varying the voltage knob is not changing the voltage, by thinking that we will vary the supply, that may damage our electronic components. So it is important to check whether the switch is connected to channel 1 or whether the switch is connected to channel 2. So we are, now you can check, this is 10 volts supply. If we give this 10 volts supply to the LED, definitely the LED will be damaged. But when the switch is connected to the channel 2, we are thinking that the voltage is not changing. The voltage is changing, but you are not able to observe that voltage. So display control, the voltage display control can be done by using this SPST switch. The channel 1 voltage display, to see the channel 1 voltage display, we have to connect, we have to use this switch to the left part. And when we want to see the voltage of the channel 2, then we can change this switch to the right side. Now I am varying the voltage here, and similarly this is the fine. I am fixing 10 volts. In the channel 2 we have 10 volts. In the channel 1 we have almost 13.2 volts. In the channel 1 we have current 0. In the channel 2 also we have current 0. Because we have not connected any device as of now. How we can take this voltage? We are using these two knobs. One is black and another one is red. These two terminals are called as ABT terminals. We connect the wires to these terminals, and from these wires we will take the supply, DC supply. And while connecting the DC supply, the polarities are very important. The positive supply we are taking from the red knob, and the negative supply we are taking from the black knob. Okay. If we do not connect any one, then the supply will not be given to your circuit. Already we discussed this current limiting knob checks whether the current is beyond the limit or below the limit. If the current is beyond the limit, then the overload occurs. Example, if I fix this current limiting knob to 0, which is stating that beyond the 0 current, the overload is occurring. So this overload current limiting knob is always used to control the current. Means to control how much current we are drawing from the RPS. These are the different knobs we have discussed. Generally we do not use this ground because there is no requirement. We take only supply from these two ABT terminals. When the RPS is trying to give more than 1 ampere current, then the fuse will be blown. That will be indicated by using this indicator. At that time, we have to switch off the RPS, and then we can replace that fuse. This is the fuse. We will the glass cartridge fuses. These fuses are available in the market. You can replace that. Okay, this is the working principle of the RPS. While turning off the RPS, we have to make sure that the voltage knob should be in the minimum position and the current limiting knob should be in the maximum position. Okay, this is the working of the RPS. Now you have known the working of a DC voltage source. By using this DC voltage source, you can connect to any circuit the DC supply.